A new Axios report indicates that Kamala Harris's campaign team is all but completely ghosting President Joe Biden. They do not want Joe Biden to go out there and campaign on behalf of Kamala Harris, but he insists on doing so. So, according to Alex Thompson over at Axios, President Biden wants to campaign for Vice President Harris in the last days before the election. Harris's campaign keeps responding, "We'll get back to you." Biden's team has held days open for campaigning, only for Harris's team to let those days pass. Two people familiar with the matter told Axios. Now, a White House official has denied this version of events. So you get a statement from them saying this isn't true. But there are few reasons that the Harris team would want to distance itself from Joe Biden, keep him on the sidelines. First and foremost, I mean, there's the fact that voters find Biden to be deeply unpopular. They're unhappy with Biden, and so it actually ends up hurting Kamala Harris when he's out there campaigning on behalf of her. For example, a national poll conducted in mid-September tested potential statements that Harris could make about herself and include Joe Biden in those statements, and the results were pretty brutal. Those that performed best, the polling found, were those that displayed a clear break between her and Biden, while those that performed worst were those that portrayed a future Harris administration as building on the accomplishments of the Biden era. But any mention of Biden, the polling found, and this is probably the most brutal part, led to less support, even if the position it had Harris taking was the same. And there's also the issue of Biden's constant gaffes. Last week, for example, he accidentally called to lock Trump up and then immediately corrected himself, but the damage was done. Take a look.
I know this sounds bizarre. It sounds like I said this 5 years ago, you'd lock me up. We gotta lock him up. Politically lock him up.
So Biden clarified and said politically lock him up, but not ideal. And here's the problem for the Harris campaign. Biden and his team are kind of making matters worse. They're taking things into their own hands and they're not taking no as an answer. So Biden's team, responding to the president's wishes recently, has become more assertive. Again, he is insisting that he continue campaigning on behalf of Kamala Harris. So this weekend, Biden campaigned alone in Pittsburgh. The Harris campaign was not informed of those plans until they were announced publicly. And reportedly, Biden's team is considering more campaign stops in Maryland and in Delaware. The Biden team does believe that the president could serve a strategic purpose. One more graphic for you from the reporting here. Many on Biden's team, including some still on the campaign that Harris inherited from the president, believe Harris's team is underestimating Biden's appeal among white working class communities in the Rust Belt, including in the critical state of Pennsylvania, where Biden has spent extensive time during his life and career. Now, Biden did outperform Hillary Clinton's numbers in that demographic. However, it seems that overall the Harris team is just really trying to distance itself from Biden. What do you think, Cenk?
Yeah, all right, so I'm gonna tell you what Biden should have done. I think you'll enjoy that. First, I'm gonna go to members for fun. So these are YouTube members. Burning wrote in, shouldn't Biden be working instead of campaigning or sleeping? He is the president, LOL. I share in that LOL. You see me LOLing as we speak. Box says, remember when he put the Trump hat on? Anyone? Yeah, that was a disaster.
It was a disaster.
And the fact that he doesn't realize that we live in a world where that photo op would be a disaster is part of the problem. Shelby says at tyt.com, for our member section there, Joe, she's just not that into you. Ouch, but also true. And then Flaccid Feckless Fiduciary, which is a super fun handle.
That might be my favorite.
Yeah, wrote in, that's a tight haircut, Cenk. Looking good.
I love how it has nothing to do with the story, but he had to include it in the context of the story we're doing. Good job, Cenk.
Yeah, no problem. Can do it anytime. I'm here for you guys. Hey, the members say it, I read it. I'm like Burgundy. Okay, so now what should Biden have done? Number one, if I was Biden, I'd go to Kamala Harris and I'd say, I get it. I get it, I'm unpopular. The country thinks we're going in the wrong direction. So don't sweat a thing, don't worry about my feelings. Let's win this thing. How can I help? If that includes staying in my basement, don't worry, I've been warming it up for a couple of years, okay? I got a nice little pillow there, bam! bam, I hit the nap and we're all good to go. But you tell me and I do what you need me to do, okay? That's what a team player would do. That's what someone who wants to beat Donald Trump would do.
That's totally something you would do.
Yeah.
Now, like just, it is who you are to your core. Even if it's something that hurts your feelings, you're still gonna do the right thing.
Yeah, well, that's what people are supposed to do if they actually want to accomplish a mission, they want to be on a team, etc. Look, I know people think I have a huge ego, but as Anna knows, no, the reality is if sometimes you got to take a bullet or you got to throw yourself under a bus, that's what you got to do to win if you really, really want to win. So this isn't about you, Joe, and your ego, it's about winning. Okay, so that's point one. Point two is I'd say, look, maybe I can help with senior citizens because Biden's more popular in that category. And she's gaining a little bit in that category in a way that is surprising. So maybe there's a way to have him work look, I'm not trying to be insulting, but seriously, like the above 65 crowd in a way that makes sense and in a way that's helpful. So I would focus on that. But again, I would let Kamala lead because I don't want to step on her, right? And then finally, the third thing I do is I'd say, if you need me to throw myself under the bus more, let me know. And so again, Anna knows that's so me, right?
It is.
But
Justice Democrats comes to mind.
Yeah, that does. A lot of things come to mind. Anyways, but the reason for that is if you need me to separate from you more, what I would suggest, and look, you could judge me for this too, because this is a little bit, political tricks, but I would say I'll even stage a fake disagreement with you. Like I'll say, you know what? I can't stand what Kamala's doing about tightening up the border. I don't agree. I think we should have a totally loose border, but Kamala keeps insisting on a tight border. It's driving me crazy. And that would get a lot of press.
That's actually pretty genius. But
Right.
there's
And then
no way the egos in Washington would ever even consider a plot like that.
Right, because in that plot, the guy who says that takes the hit.
Exactly.
People go, oh, you want a loose border, you want to, boo, we hate you. But it helps the person who's in the race. But you're right, it would require someone to be magnanimous. Good luck finding a person like that in Washington, D.C., let alone Joe Biden.
I mean, he's putting on campaign events without even letting the Harris campaign know about it. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
The ego has landed.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.